mostly on squat mechanics. We're going to start off with the ankles and sort of work our way down. We are going to end by spending some time under tension in that squat, okay? So I'll give you a second to collect what you need. You might need something else for balance if you want to hang on to something, but you're going to need a bolster, a ball, or a block, something to sit on maybe. Cool. All right, let's start off standing. We're going to focus on our ankles first. If you want something to hang on to, have it close by. So first things first, let's just get some ankle cars going, all right? So send that foot right out in front of you, and we're just going to make 3 circles with our foot. The biggest circle that we can with just using our ankle and not letting that knee move. Good, we're going to go through these a little quicker than we normally do. Go ahead and reverse, other direction. Think about driving through your heel. Point those toes, pull them up. One more time. And release it. Good. While we're here, we're going to go into our hip cars. Knee comes up, out to the side. Raise that ankle. Push it back. Feel all that rotation. Draw that big circle with your kneecap. Good. We got to warm those hamstrings up. Pull that heel all the way to your butt. Send that knee out to the side. Pull it up and around. Good. All right, switching sides. Foot goes out in front. Awesome. Make that big circle. All right, so when we pull our toes back to us, that is called dorsiflexion. When we point our toes like a ballerina, that is called plantar flexion. Okay, you're going to hear me say that a couple times. So we're going to work on squat mechanics, like I said. Go ahead and switch direction. And we're going to start with ankle dorsiflexion. People who don't have good dorsiflexion or an ability to pull those toes all the way back up typically squat, and they'll just immediately either fall forward or their heels will come off the ground, or both of those things. Back to hip cars. So we're going to go from the ground up, and we're going to make sure that your ankles are ready to squat. And then we're going to be mean to your hips. Pull that heel into your butt. Knee out to the side. Up and around. Good. All right, here is where you might need your yoga block or your bolster. Keep them close by. We're going to go into this base position right here, okay? Some folks might not find this comfortable. If that is you, put a block or a book underneath your butt to help prop you up, okay? So what we need to see is we're looking at this angle, okay? This front ankle. And what I want to do is I want to lean forward so that my heel is still on the ground, okay? So if I've leaned forward to the point where that heel is able to come up off the floor, I've gone too far. Let's find our passive stretch. So I feel a stretch in this tissue right here on the back side of me, okay? If I feel a pinch or any pressure here, I want you to back up out of it. Cool. All right, so we're going to do some work here, but first, we need to get our nervous system comfortable here, all right? So we get to hang out in this stretch, and you will also notice that you need to sink deeper into the stretch the more relaxed you become. You're going to do that by just putting more of your weight onto that leg, okay? You're not going to push to the point of pain. We're never going to go to pain, but we want that deep, deep stretch so we can work in our actual end range. Cool. We're going to spend about another minute here, and while we're here, let's just take our toes and make sure they're spread nice and wide. Awesome. Solid base, solid base. So, what we're going to do is we're going to actually work on that dorsiflexion, or pulling the toes back closer to us, okay? So I'm going to explain it while we're hanging out here, because we don't have anything else to do. So I'm going to say pail, and I'm going to cue you to push like hell through the floor, okay? You're going to gas pedal down. Then I'm going to say rail, and you're going to activate all of this tissue in the front of you to try and pull your toes up. It's not going to happen, okay? That's fine. We just need those muscles to turn on, all right? So if you need to, Refine that passive stretch. Let's back out just 5 degrees, 5 or 10 degrees. Small amount here. Now, heel stays locked on the floor. Let's go ahead and start our pale contraction by pushing down, okay? Just a little contraction to start with. We're not at 100%, maybe give me 50% of what you got. Now let's practice our rail. Let's turn this side of our leg on, pull those toes up, 50% contraction, okay? Maybe one day that whole foot is gonna come with us, but if you could see right now, I'm barely getting the ends of my toes up off the floor. Cool, relax, sink down deeper into the stretch. All right, next up, we're gonna go just a little bit more intensity. We're gonna do 2 right in a row, okay? So, big deep breath. Hands can go wherever you need to make your base as solid as possible. We're gonna start with our pale. Turn on that contraction, press through the floor, hold, press. Start dialing up that effort for 3, 2, and now we reverse. Pull, rail. Everything on the front side of that shin is active. Hold it. 3, 2, now reverse it again. Push, push, all the way down. All the way. That entire foot is pushing. 3, 2, and now rail. Don't let your body lean back. Turn on that front of the shin. Hold. 3, 2, release. Let that tension go. Okay, feel what that new ankle feels like. Let's back out a little bit. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little end range stuff, okay? So what I wanna see here is let's find a place where we can just barely lift up this part of our foot. Okay, so like the knuckles right here, this part. All right, I want us to be able to barely lift it off. Hold it. 3, 2, release, sink back down. Good, we're gonna do 2 more just like that. That sweet spot is gonna change, okay? Pull the toes up, activate that front tissue, and now let's rock back until our toes are just barely off the floor. Hold it, pull, pull, and then sink deep, sink deep. Here's our last one. Go ahead, turn that tissue on, turn that rail tissue on, pull it up, and let's see where we can control it. Hold, 3, 2, release it. Good, sit on your butt. We're gonna get some explosive work now, okay? So we just helped you build a better ankle in your end ranges. Now let's help you use it a little better. Arm goes underneath, hand goes on top. Point the toe, plantar flex. We're gonna do 10 dorsiflexions as fast as we possibly can. Here we go. Flex, point. Quick as you can. Turn those muscles on. Go. Quicker, quicker, make it happen. 3, 2, and release it. Whoo, give those some ankle cars. Yeah. All right, settle deep down into our base position for number 2. All right, you got 2 different ankles, 2 different sides. They're gonna feel different. Let's find our passive stretch here. Remember, our heel needs to be on the floor, okay? Heel needs to be on the floor, and we're trying to make this angle as small as possible. Okay, so we want it to be acute. Nice deep breaths here. We're just trying to relax into the stretch. There will be plenty of time to make it work later. And remember that trick. If you need more pressure, just take your chest and push it onto that thigh. Heel is staying glued. This is the best part of a Kinstretch class. This is where you actually get to pause, not make your shins sweat. Let's take another 30 seconds. Cool. All right, let's make sure those toes are spread. Give yourself a wide, solid base, big as you can. Take up some space with that foot. All right, now we're gonna back out of that passive range just a little tiny bit, 5 or 10 degrees. Come on out. All right, now we're gonna start with our pales contraction. That's pushing down, remember. Give me a 50% pales contraction. Gas pedaling through the floor. Good, feel that tissue turn on. That's the back side of you, that back side of that calf. Now we're gonna activate that regressive tissue, the front side. Pull those toes all the way up. It should not be successful. If it's successful, you need to lean forward a little bit more, okay? And release that tension. Find your passive stretch again. There it is. All right, we've got 2 back to back. I wanna see how much effort you can make, especially on that last one. All right, we're in our passive stretch. Let's back out just a little tiny bit. And now let's start to ramp up that tension. Drive down through the floor. Give me a gas pedal. 3, 2, and now rail. Lift it up. Front side of that calf is screaming at you. Pull, pull. You've got more in there. I know you do. 3, 2, and now reverse. Drive down. Everything you've got. This is what's going to drive you out of the bottom of that squat. We've got to train it. Hold. 3, 2, and reverse. Pull it up. Pull it up. One day those toes are going to come all the way to our shins. Hold. 3, 2, and release. Whew. All right. Let's see if that passive stretch has changed any. Doesn't appear that mine has done so. So now what we want to do is we want to find our passive stretch, turn this shit on the front of our thigh on, okay? Turn it on, pull those toes up. Now we're going to rock back, and we're going to see where is that point where we can actually get our toes up off the ground and hold. 3, 2, and release. Sink back down. Find that stretch. Cool. Heel is still on the ground. We've got 2 more times. Turn that stuff on the front of your thigh on. Pull those toes up. Now rock back. Let's find that sweet spot. Come on, ankle cooperate. Hold. 3, 2, sink forward. We've got 1 more. Here's our safest, greatest, maximal effort right now. Turn on the front of that thigh, dorsiflex, and lift off. Seal that is enough. Good boy. Hold. Hold. 3, 2, and release. Good. Come on out of there. All righty. Let's do some explosive work now. Hand goes underneath. Grab onto that leg. Point the toes like a ballerina. Pull them back. All right, let's do 9 more super quick. Point, flex. Point, flex. Go at your own speed. Make it happen. How much tighter, how much closer can you get those toes? 3, 2, release. Whew. Couple ankle cars there. It's probably the most love your ankles have gotten in a while. Awesome. Now, here's where you're gonna need your bolster for your back leg, okay? So we're gonna go into a lunge position. Doesn't matter which leg you start with. And we're gonna find that nice stretch. So what we're looking for here is we want this stuff to feel stretched, okay? The way that we can make that happen is by squeezing our butt or by leaning forward more. Okay, whatever works for you is good for me. Again, we're gonna hang out in this stretch for a little while, all right? So while we're here, I'll tell you what's coming up next. We're gonna make your hamstring go on fire, okay? Careful shaking that table, it's shaking the camera, it's okay. All right, so while we have this stretch, now's where you might need a little bit of balance. If you wanna grab onto a chair or the wall, something like that, we're going to grab onto that trail leg. Grab it, hold it. All right, you might need like a yoga strap or something like that, t-shirt, scarf, whatever you got. And let's just deepen that stretch a little bit more. Oh, hey, Alex, you joined us on Instagram, that's great. So while we're here, I wanted to go over just a little bit about what is next, okay? So we're gonna go working from the front of our body to the back of our body. First, we're gonna start with activating the front, and then we're gonna activate the back, all right? Grab a good hold onto that foot. We've been in this stretch long enough. This feels pretty regular to us now. And now what your action is gonna be is you're gonna drive into your hand. So the action is gonna be that you're trying to force your foot away from your hand, but your hand isn't gonna let that happen, okay? So let's go ahead and just initiate that contraction now. Feel what that feels like. Okay, we can get those muscles to turn on. Now the rail is the opposite. You're trying to pull the heel in tighter to your butt and away from your hand. Try that contraction on, hold, and release, sink back into that tension. Now, if you just fell out of that position because your hamstring cramped, that tells you something, okay? It tells you that we just need to work here a little bit longer. Your nervous system has no idea what the hell we're trying to do, okay? No one's ever died from a cramp. It's uncomfortable, but you're gonna make it through, I promise, all right? Work to your own ability. We're gonna get 2 pails, 2 rails. Starting with the push into our hand. Drive that foot through your hand. Butt is tight. We are driving that foot all the way to the floor. Hold 3, hold 2, and now reverse. Everything squeezes to pull that heel in tighter to your butt. Sit up taller. 3, 2, and now release the tension slowly. Don't fall out of that position. We're gonna go right into set number 2. Get ready. Start dialing that tension up, driving the foot through the hand, and go. Drive. Stand up taller. Chest is open. Hold 3, hold 2, and now drive that heel into your butt. Hold it. Hold it. Ooh, hello hamstring, hello glutes. 3, 2, release that foot all the way down. Ooh, that's a little spicy. Cool deal. Here's where you might need a tennis ball. If you're looking for a little bit more feedback, we're gonna stay on that same leg. So we're just gonna do some some passive range holds, okay? So here's what I wanna see. We're gonna take this guy, and your goal is not to drop it, all right? So the tennis ball is just gonna give me a little bit of feedback. If I drop my leg enough, well, if you weren't super sweaty, the tennis ball will fall out of your knee pit there, okay? So grab a hold of that same leg we were just working with. Find your stretch. Now initiate that pull the heel to the butt movement. Hamstring is tight, glutes are tight, and now we're gonna back out of that stretch just a little bit, tiny little bit, and we're gonna hold the leg exactly where it is. Hold it. 3, 2, and grab. Margaret is saying absolutely not. We've got 2 more. Here we go. Initiate tension, squeeze the glute, squeeze the hamstring, hold, and now release that foot. Don't let it move 1 single millimeter. 3, 2, grab a hold of it. We've got 1 more. Here's our safest, greatest, maximal effort. Get ready, set, tension, and go. Give me everything you got right here. One day that heel is gonna touch our butt. 3, 2, foot slowly lowers to the floor. Toes tuck. Let's stand up. Woo! Yeah. All right, be nice to that side. Let's switch sides. Switchy, switchy. Grab some water on the way if you need it. All right, here's the fun part. We get to relax into our stretch a little bit, okay? That front leg is now our training leg. We're leaning forward, trying to find that nice stretch here. We can always squeeze the glute to drive through that hip a little bit more and deepen the stretch. Big, deep breaths here. So the reason why we sit in these stretches and then I work you, it's all about trying to communicate to the nervous system that you're safe, okay? So this is a great opportunity to practice your breath work, to practice calming everything down so that we stay in that rest and digest mode, okay? We actually can't upload all that new information to our nervous system unless things are settled, right? Unless we're in that rest and digest state. We're gonna spend about 30 more seconds here, keeping that stretch deep, but definitely not painful. Good, let's go ahead and grab that back leg. You got two different sides, so things might be a little different. Let's hang out here for a moment, see what we got to work with, okay? All right. I'm pausing because things feel so different on this side that I'm trying to figure out what is actually going on. We'll see. All right, so we've got our pails and our rails, all right? Our pail action is driving that foot through our hand towards the floor. The rail is trying to pull that heel to the butt, okay? Here we go. Go ahead and give me a 50% contraction trying to drive that hand, or I'm sorry, that foot through your hand. Abs are tight, shoulders are on top of hips. We're still in that stretched position with that back hip. Good, reverse the contraction, pull the heel to your butt. Pull it in tighter and sit up taller. Good, release the contraction, reset, feel what you got to work with, and let's do 2 for real reps. We ready? All right, let's start with the pail. Let's go ahead, push through the hand. Push, push, push. The front side of you is active for 3, 2, and now activate the rail tissue. Pull that heel all the way to your butt. Squeeze in tighter, tighter. 3, 2, reverse, go, pail, push, push. Keep going. I know you've got more in there. Sit up taller. 3, 2, and rail. Pull it in. Pull it in. Squeeze those glutes. Tight, tight, tight. Hard. You've got more tension. I know it's in there. 3, 2. Slowly let that leg come down. Woo, buddy. Awesome. All right, grab your tennis ball if you're looking for a little bit of feedback there. Now we're going to go through our passive range holds, okay? So reach back there, grab that leg. Whew, all right, you know what's coming. Let's initiate our tension. Let's release that passive range just a little bit, maybe 10 degrees. So take your heel away from your butt just a little baby bit. Initiate tension and hold it. Hold it. 3, 2, and grab it. We got 2 more. How much tension can you make? Ready? Set and tension, go. Hold it, eyes up. Keep breathing. Squeeze your butt tighter for 3, 2, and grab it. All right, y'all, this is our last rep. Safest, greatest, max effort. Here we go. Ready, set, tension, and drive. Heel to butt, tighter. 3, 2, slowly let it down. Slowly let it down, toes tuck, stand up. Woo. Woo. A little spicy, a little different than when we went down there. Yeah, cool. So, I got 5 minutes left and a whole lot more I want to do. Let's go down to the floor. Margaret's hamstring is still cramping. If you're like her, then you're very, very lucky that you attended class today because it sounds like you really needed it. All right, now, yeah, we got time. Okay, on your backs, please. I want palms face up beside you. Feet are a little bit wider than hip width. I'm going to press through my heel. Your heels are not going to leave the floor the entire time. And we're going to press all the way up into our glute bridge. All right? Now I want you to come down about halfway so that if I, look right at your bra line. Right at your bra line. That's where I want your spine to be off the mat. Okay? So maybe a little bit higher than your mid-back. All right? Now we're going to visualize a wave traveling down our spine. It's going to move 1 vertebra at a time until our butt is the last thing to hit. My hip points are pulled up to my ribs. You're trying to keep pace with me or beat me. Don't let that low spine come down in just one big chunk. Smooth, smooth movements. And finally, the butt hits. Good. Pull those hip points up towards your ribs. Drive into your bridge, just about halfway up your back. And now travel down one vertebra at a time. Hip points pull up to ribs the entire time. Don't let that tension go. Spinal control is so important, not just in squat mechanics, but in life. Each of those vertebrae should have movement. And this is how we build it. Pull those hip points up. Maybe you're even going to get your hamstrings to turn on. And release. Whoo. All right, y'all, let's stand up. We are going to go into a little kinetic stretching. All right, so those of you that have taken class with me before are familiar with kinetic stretching. It's the idea that instead of letting gravity pull you into the stretch, you're going to use your own musculature. All right, so we're just going to do 2 with a squat, and then we're going to spend some time in that squat. All right, so the way that we're going to pull ourselves down into that squat is we're going to activate the front side of us. All right, so bear with me here. You're going to pull your toes up by activating this, okay? So you're gonna dorsiflex just like we did. You're gonna activate this by trying to drive your knee to your chest, except you're just going to be pulled deeper into the stretch, okay? So on the way down, think front of you. On the way up, think back of you. So you're gonna drive through your heel, you're gonna activate your glutes, you're gonna activate your hamstrings, you're gonna activate the muscles all along your spine to hold you straight. All right, we've got 2 chances. Hands can go wherever you want. All right, let's go down. Let's pull ourselves down into that squat. You're gonna keep with me. We're gonna go super slow. I'm trying to pull my toes all the way up. I'm trying to pull my knees all the way to my chest. Don't beat me, only go where you are active, hold, and now activate the back side of you. Drive out, drive through your heel, push, glutes are tight, activate, super, super over-exaggerate those muscles that are working. Can you make this look even slower? Yeah, cool, one more time, now that you got it. Reset those feet, let's pull ourselves deeper into that squat this time. Drive those toes up, and go, pull, pull, woo. Keep pulling. Toes are driving up. Everything on the front side of you is making this happen. Let's go lower this time. Let's pause more. Let's breathe. Now we're gonna reverse the tension, everything on the back side. Go, go, slower, slower. Fight through that burn. Feels good, doesn't it? Woo! Right on time, y'all. Here we go. We've got one last one. We're going deep down into our squat. Here we go. All right, now, my heels are on the ground. You might need a block underneath your butt. That's totally fine, all right? If you don't need it, don't use it. Challenge yourself here. All right, so I'm mostly active. There's a little bit of me that's just sort of sitting back, but I want to spend the next 30 seconds here with you guys. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to be here, all right? And the idea behind that is we want to spend time under tension. If we want to be better at squatting, we should squat more, right? Squatting is one of the most basic movements that you can do in the gym, outside of the gym, whatever. We all need to be better at squatting. So we need to spend more time here, all right? We've got another 30 seconds, and we're just gonna make some small circles. Your heels are never gonna leave the ground. You're just going to try and trace that circle. See what those ankles got going on from what we did in the beginning of class. Nice. 2 circles that way. No, sir. and 2 circles the other way. Time under tension, folks. It makes a difference. Let's finish by pulling those toes all the way up. Pull them up. Drive through your heel. Stand all the way up tall. Whoop. A little dizzy. All right, friends. That's all I've got for you. Thank you so much. On, let's see, Thursday at the same time, 5:30, we're going to do some wrist stuff and some scapula stuff, trying to get you ready for push-ups, with the idea being that hopefully we're going to be getting back in the gym. We need to get our bodies ready to go back to the gym. All right? I appreciate you all so much. I will see you then.